Hi, everybody. It's Thursday evening. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wintz. And I know this isn't our normal time, but this is week two that we've had to do this on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday. I'll explain that coming up in the forecast, but you're not late to the party. Happy Thursday evening. We're getting ready for the weekend around here. We've got a pretty active weather pattern shaping up, not just this weekend. I think, the bulk of the storms are going to miss us in terms of where the trajectory of the low pressures are, but we could get clipped by a couple systems. So what we're going to highlight is your weekend forecast in terms of when we're expecting rain. I'm going to be completely honest with you about the models. And then I want to talk heat next week because next week's heat looks very impressive. And I'm going to show you some of these numbers that the models are spitting out, but it looks to be pretty hot around here as you'd expect this time of year, but some of these numbers are pretty high. So we'll talk about that and more in this Thursday evening special edition of Region Weather Live. And the gang's all here. Good to have you guys already tuning in. We've got Mary. Hello, Mary. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Tom. Hi, Mark. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Jeff. Happy Thursday to you too, Vicky. Thanks for joining us here on this Region Weather Live. So, a couple things first. Last 24 hours have just been really busy in this life. Hi, Deshaun. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Jay. Yeah, we'll try to keep it cool. And hi, Diane. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful today. You're right. The last 24 hours are just crazy. If you remember last week, we were supposed to do a Wednesday evening Region Weather Live as expected, and we had severe weather here locally where I am, which is in Ohio, and we did some on-air coverage stuff like that, and so we were unable to do this, so we had to change it to Thursday. Lo and behold, last night we had more severe weather come through here. Most of it was down to the south. Southern Ohio got, they had a couple tornadoes out of it. It was got a little crazy around here. We had, generally some heavier rain. But I don't think any of you know this because I usually don't say this, but we go hand in hand with the Cleveland Guardians, the Major League Baseball team, right? Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Guardians. And so, I'm doing evenings now during the week. And I used to kind of share that duty with our chief, but she has shifted to daytime now because she's doing some streaming stuff and other things. So again, I've taken over that night shift. And so now it's just exclusively me and the Guardians. So I was literally probably for 6 hours forecasting the rain delays and the timing. And it got to the point where I was seeing one thing, which ended up being accurate. Let's just say that. I mean, it wasn't that hard to tell you when the rain ends. So I was saying the rain's going to end at, 9:40, whatever it is. You're going to get about an hour into play. Probably shouldn't play baseball. MLB got on there and talked to me. So I was talking with the lead people in MLB yesterday saying, hey, here's what I'm seeing, and they're like, okay. And then they ended up deciding to play and they ended up having to call a delay because, it was raining really hard. Right. And so it was kind of a stressful evening yesterday. We ended up being completely accurate with our forecast. MLB was a little off on that, but just to let you know, kind of an insight into why we didn't do a Region Weather Live last night. I was on the phone with not just the Guardians, but MLB at one point for probably 6 or 7 hours yesterday. Not consistently, but it was a lot to work with. So we had that. And then today was kind of cool. We did a live shot at an amusement park here. So I brought the family there, and that was a lot of fun. We're highlighting all these different summer places to go. And this place has been open for 70 years, which is really cool. So just got back from that. So that's why I'm at home. I'm heading back into the office here in a little bit to do the 11. But anyway, I know you don't need all that, but I just want to let you know I plan on doing Wednesday evenings, right? So we can all plan on it, but we're doing Thursday tonight because of that. All right. Want to thank our sponsors, Tiger Plumbing. They're just awesome. You've heard me talk about them so many times. If guys, I'm just going to keep this straight. All right. I have some script to read from our sponsors. I'm just going to tell it to you straight. If you need a plumber in Northwest Indiana, please go to Tiger Plumbing. They're amazing. Anyone that's used them from Region Weather has nothing but great things to say. Gas prices are crazy. We're all frustrated. I get it. Tiger Plumbing doesn't charge to come out. Okay. They're wasting gas money to come out and evaluate their problem. A lot of plumbers charge 50, $100 to come out and see what your problem is. And then they charge you more to fix it, right? As they should. Tiger Plumbing does not. They're family owned. They're out of the Highland area. Just a wonderful business. It's tigerplumbing.net. I hope you don't need anything plumbing wise, but if you do, please reach out to them. Tell them Region Weather sent you too. Okay. Also, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, awesome car dealership, family owned as well in the Valpo area. Please pay them a visit. It's top off the Jeep season. That's what they always say, and that's what our family says as well. Our top doesn't come off our Jeep, but the windows go down, and that's nice. But it's a great season for a Jeep. Jeeps are just awesome vehicles, especially in the wintertime around here. But pay them a visit if you get a chance. Again, they keep this all for free. Okay, let's talk about what we've got going on weather-wise. So, two things I want to hit on. Let's plan out your weekend to see if we're going to see any rain during your plans, whatever you have. And then I want to talk next week because this heat is really impressive next week. I mean, it really is. Some of these numbers coming I haven't seen in a while. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with now. We're going to have some severe weather in the plains tonight. Hey, that goes with the month of June. But you can see where it evolves. It's all west of us. So as we go throughout the day tomorrow, we had a beautiful day today, right? No weather problems. Tomorrow, we're probably not going to start with problems. I do think clouds are going to increase as we go throughout the morning hours, though. And we'll probably have a pretty decent deck of clouds in the morning off of this stuff to the west. So models haven't really agreed on the stuff that fires up tonight. This is tonight. You notice how storms fire in Iowa, big complex down towards Kansas. This complex in Iowa, the models haven't handled very well. And to be frank with you, I remember talking about this last summer. The models don't handle a summer setup very well. They don't handle these big explosive thunderstorms in the plains. And what I mean by don't handle, they don't always picture where it initiates, right? Where the storms actually blow up. And if they're off by 50 miles, that puts the forecast off by 50 miles. If it's off by 2 hours in terms of when they develop, that puts everything off by 2+ hours. So it gets very tricky to forecast this time of year because the models really aren't much help. They've got a good idea on this complex down here, but it's this one that's in question. So how does that affect us? Well, if the initiation's off in terms of where it develops and how big it gets, that's going to throw off our precip forecast in the morning. So I'm just going to broad code it tomorrow. We have a chance for some spotty showers. I don't think there's going to be a lot of thunderstorm action tomorrow. I think that'll be south and then again off towards the north. But we could see some rain, especially as we go throughout the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening as we get this little area up towards the north, kind of blow up in Wisconsin. All right. It's a messy forecast. There's a mess all over the place. There's storms blowing up here. There's clear air here. None of it's clear. So we have to keep isolated showers in the forecast tomorrow. Unfortunately, same thing for Saturday. You can see as we go through time, there's a big active system off towards our north. That will bring more clouds and perhaps some showers and thunderstorms in here late Saturday. I know your phone app's been changing. The models have been changing with this. I would plan on some kind of rain possibility, especially later in the day Saturday, as this complex off towards the north comes in. It does look like that's a pretty sure bet that we'll see kind of a frontal boundary sag south with that. So I would go with rain chances, especially late Saturday, probably in the 40 to, I never do 50% because that doesn't tell you anything. I'd probably go 40 to 60% range on that. So I'd plan on some rain later in the day Saturday as this boundary sinks south. You notice it's not a slam dunk, but again, I think we'll get something because there will be a boundary coming through. That same boundary will stall on Sunday, and it'll start to head back north as a warm front, and that leads us to our hot week next week, okay? So we still have some storm chances around here on Sunday. Looks like mainly early as of now, and then again, perhaps later. So I want to pick that story up. I'm going national. I know it's tough to see, but I want you to see the giant picture of this. So we've got this messy setup next couple days. This is the Euro model, which is a little different than the one we just looked at, right? It's not as high res, but you get the idea here. Here's Friday. Here's that system again that kind of brushes the area. I would keep a spotty shower in the forecast tomorrow. And then here's Saturday. Saturday, it keeps us mainly dry during the day and the afternoon. I like that. That's why I think evening is the best chance for rain. And it would be with some kind of complex that comes across from Wisconsin, right? Could we have severe weather with that? Yeah, we could. Yeah, we certainly could. We'll keep an eye on it. But given the atmosphere setup, it's certainly conducive for severe weather, not just this weekend, but next week as well. And then there's your Sunday setup where this boundary is kind of sagging south. Maybe some more storms trigger on Sunday. Neither day looks like a washout if you've got plans. But again, it's a messy setup. There's going to be rain patches all over on radar. Models have a terrible handle on it. And from experience, there's going to be some kind of front coming in here Saturday night. That will probably trigger storms. And that front will kind of linger on Sunday. That will probably reignite a couple storms. Not a washout, but we'll have to watch for some thunderstorm chances. Next week's when it gets interesting. You can kind of see this big ridge across the plains with those red lines. This is that giant ridge coming in from the southwest. They're going to have record heat down in the Four Corners region. Las Vegas, I think, is in the 110 range for the next 4 days. I mean, it gets hot out there, right? But this is some real good heat. And whenever we have a really big core of heat out west, that usually translates east this time of year, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So what happens when you have a big core of heat like this, you get these storms. We call them ridge riders. It's a summertime thing. You get these big thunderstorm clusters that blow up, and they go right along that ridge. They can curve south. Sometimes they go all the way around into the Gulf, and they come back up. They also call it the circle of fire. That's exactly the setup we're going to have. Big dome of heat in the plains. You get these big storms that fire up and travel along that. We will be under the train track, so to speak, of where those storms will travel on Monday. You can see perhaps the model trying to blow up some storms along where those train tracks are. But then we get into Tuesday, we should be dry and centrally located in the core of that heat. Wednesday, same thing. So 2 hot days, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday, it looks like that ridge tries to break down. The Euro's not crazy about any storm chances. I would probably throw it in there with the change of air masses. But it's going to be a little bit cooler around here compared to where we will be Tuesday and Wednesday. And then you can see we kind of go dry after that for a while with more heat kind of building back. So the theme of the forecast for next week, I want to show you some of these numbers, but the theme of the forecast for next week is that we turn hot, and it looks like we're going to stay that way, at least for the next 7 days beyond that. So if you've been missing that summer heat, it's certainly returning. Here's a look kind of at the upper level patterns. I can't get in there anymore. All right, so here's the heat down towards the southwest. Watch how this just evolves over time. It really builds out west. We're still kind of seasonable around here Saturday. And then watch how this just heads east right there. And then it expands. Boom. Look at that warmth. That's some serious warmth. This is when we're looking at, we're talking the heights in the atmosphere, how warm it can get. But we've got some really hot days ahead on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then it looks like it just kind of rotates back out towards the west where it usually goes. So we're not done with the heat after that. It's just going to kind of displace itself out towards the west. All right, final thing I want to show you guys is the temperatures, right? How warm are we going to get? And again, these numbers are impressive. I'm going to zoom in if that's cool. Let's get down to this level for you. Hopefully you can see these numbers okay. Let me go. I'm going to go off the screen so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. All right, so these are your high temperatures as predicted by the Euro. Most of the models are in line with pretty much the same numbers. But here's tomorrow, seasonable, right? Again, here's that rain down towards the south, so 60s where it's raining. We'll probably be low to mid 70s tomorrow. I like that. And then Saturday, not bad, mid 70s, maybe some upper 70s down towards Rensselaer. And then Sunday's when that heat starts to build. So we're in the 80s on Sunday. Depends on where the storms go. Monday, it kind of drops back a little bit with wind off the lake. That looks like a late Sunday wind off the lake. But you can see how that boundary starts to really sharpen up. This is now Monday afternoon. We go from maybe 70 and 79 in Gary to maybe 90 down in Newton and Jasper County. Again, this could change. This is a very fine line where the heat is, but I want to show you some of these numbers we're dealing with. There's lots of 90s downstate. And then here we go. Remember I said Tuesday and Wednesday are the hot days? Look at some of these numbers the Euro's spitting out. This has 97 for a high in Gary, 97 down towards the Rensselaer area. It's got 100 downstate. I mean, this is some good heat, right? Is the Euro a little hot? I'm not too sure it is. I think it might be onto something. It's certainly going to be warm around here Tuesday, Wednesday. There's your Wednesday. It has another 95, 96, 97 degree day, maybe some hundreds up in Michigan. And then we finally get that relief, as I mentioned, as that boundary comes through on Thursday, where we're back into the mid 80s, but still warm. And then the heat shifts back out towards the west. So we're still in the 80s to near 90 next Friday. And then we're in fantasy land now, but you can see temperatures upper 80s to near 90 degrees on Saturday. So we're not saying goodbye to the heat anytime soon. It's looking pretty hot, as you'd expect. I understand we're getting into, well into June, but overall, we've got some pretty warm days ahead as we go through the next 7 to 10 days or so. Okay. So I hope that helps. In terms of the weekend, again, hodgepodge. I would plan on some rain. If I had to target some time for that, it would probably be, later in the day, Saturday, and then Sunday as that boundary sinks south. So that would be probably Sunday afternoon-ish, and then Monday or or no, I'm sorry, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, it would come through. It would stall on Sunday, and then we could see some storms refire on Sunday. So not a washout this weekend, but a couple rain chances, and then some serious heat next week. I'd be comfortable probably saying mid 90s next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So super warm for sure. Okay. All right. Let's answer your questions as always. We'll get you on your way. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Mary said she loved the family picture today. Yeah, if you love Instagram, you love pictures, I always post pictures of my kids. It's Wince Weather, my last name Weather, and that's on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. Eileen, thank you. I got your message as well that you love the family picture. Yeah, it was so nice to have them out for a broadcast today. It was kind of cool for sure. Jay, I hope so. Just stay hydrated, buddy. Lots of water, okay? Because I mean, you don't mess around with 95 plus, right? That's when it starts to get a little serious. We get it every year or most years, so it's nothing we can't handle for sure. But it certainly is going to be a different air mass. It's amazing how this works with this dome of heat. I mean, we could be just outside of it and it's 70 degrees and you wouldn't even know that there's this huge change of air mass off towards the west. But once that gets in here, which is probably Tuesday, maybe Monday night, you'll know it. It's going to be sultry outside. It's just such a different air mass, and it's traveling from the west to the east. It's really crazy. Rebecca Ann says, gorgeous weather day and this weekend, but can't wait for heat to warm up my pool. I agree with you on that, Rebecca, because the pools have been on the chilly side, and 70s aren't good for pool weather. That's too cold if you're asking me. Mike, I think so. Mike, we're going to have, again, the models don't handle what blows up in Iowa tonight. So we may have some showers around here off of that. Right now, I'm kind of leaning just clouds, but we can't rule out some of that rain getting in here. It doesn't look like it'd be anything particularly heavy, and that's towards the morning. Afternoon, we'll have to watch for some thunderstorms that pop in Wisconsin. Could some of those get down here? They could. Chances are pretty low on that. But again, this time of year, there's just so much rain and it's so chaotic in the atmosphere that there certainly could be something that pops. Mary's almost done with T-ball, the last one. Wow, that's sad, Mary. I know. But good luck. Yeah, hopefully we'll keep the rain away for sure. Maxwell, no problem. That's a good question. The weather service is saying thunder tomorrow. I saw that. And AccuWeather, I always check the apps just to see what they're saying so I know how to explain things. AccuWeather is saying thunder as well. I don't see much of a thunder risk tomorrow, to be honest. If it did, it would be the stuff coming out of Wisconsin late in the day. But the morning we look too stable. I think we'd have, maybe some showers coming in from that western stuff. But I don't see much of a thunder threat tomorrow. That's just me, though. Again, the apps are all saying it. Weather Service is saying it as well. So we'll say, yes, there is a chance for thunder tomorrow. Do I think we're going to have, full-on thunderstorms tomorrow? I don't see that. Rhonda, thank you. I appreciate that. I got your message about the family picture on Facebook. Yeah, that's just awesome. We're planning a girls' let's see. Chrissy says we're planning a girls' weekend in Lake Geneva. Will rain and storms affect there? Yeah, this weekend, yeah. Chrissy, unfortunately, it does look like at least tomorrow some of those storms initiate up there. And I think that Saturday night Sunday cluster comes from. So let's go through time. Here's tomorrow. You can see there's going to be a couple storms firing tomorrow evening in southern Wisconsin. And then Saturday, that big cluster comes out of the north. So you'll likely, Chrissy, this weekend have, and this is Saturday, some kind of big complex of storms that's coming out of Minnesota coming towards Wisconsin. So just keep your radar app, whatever that happens to be, handy, because we'll have some storms coming in from the northwest on Saturday. Sunday, they could linger. I think they more so linger here across northwest Indiana, as we talked about. But again, I think that Saturday night is going to be something you're going to have to watch for sure. Market has been, we've kind of jumped in and gone comfortable, which is good. A lot of people say we don't have a spring, around here. And this is our spring, guys. This 60s and 70s will do it. So we're certainly doing that. Jay, great question about the dew points. So the Muggy meter really ramps up. Let me get you dew points here. It's really going to get humid around here next week. Until then, we kind of flirting with it. So this is, let's get your weekend here. This is Saturday's dew points right here. And I'm glad you're talking dew point. I love it. So here's Friday. Tomorrow, not bad. Still kind of like where we are right now. Saturday, you can see how we're flirting with humid. When it gets up near 60, it's kind of humid. You start to feel it. So not bad Saturday, but a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere. And then Sunday, out ahead of those storms, you can see how we peak into the mid 60s. So it'll become humid on Sunday, more humid as we go throughout the day. I think that triggers the storms as that boundary comes in. A little bit drier air temporarily on Monday. You see how dew points come down into the 50s just for us. Everyone else is still kind of humid. And then watch this next week. This is Monday into Tuesday. That's when that sultry air is going to hit. Dew points up into the mid 70s. That is tropical, folks. That's as thick as it gets around here. And then we kind of stay there as we go into next week. Dew points generally in the 70s. So tropical and hot next week. There's your cold front next Thursday and Friday. Brings in drier air. That'll be a nice relief for sure. Yeah, Jill, it was great. It was wonderful. I know it, and I hope your yard's doing well. The rain certainly helped the last couple of days. That has been great to have that. So I know the gardens are pretty happy. Mark says, at a softball game, Maxwell, you're welcome. At a softball game for my niece, I just broke my pen. Almost hit me in the face. Don't make me regret watching it after. Missed 17 minutes of forecast. Have we been on that long, Mark? Oh gosh, it's 20 minutes already. Mark, don't watch it then. I don't know if you like heat or not, buddy. If you don't like the warmth, don't watch. Don't rewatch. If you like the heat, then go ahead. You can do it for sure. Chrissy, you're welcome. That's funny. Deshaun loves hot weather. That's great. Laura, thank you very much. Guys, thank you for those of you that send stars. That melts my heart. I'm serious. I really appreciate that. You don't have to, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, Jay's absolutely right. Jay says mid 70 dew points is Florida weather. So remember, we always talk about dew points on here. That's the number that matters. Gets above 60, you feel the air. 65, it's humid. 70, it's tropical. So 75 to 77 degree dew points, that's what they get in Florida. And that's usually what they get in Florida in the fall and the spring. Summertime, they're usually, low 70s, pretty customarily. We can be more humid here in the summer than Florida is and the deep south because of something called, you're going to be glad you stayed through this whole thing, because of something called corn sweat. Have you guys heard of that? So the corn crop, as it gets going out in the plains, like even Illinois, right? Indiana, we've got corn, but as you get back towards Iowa, especially, the corn as it grows has evapotranspiration, right? Basically, it's sweating, right? The farmers water the corn and it evaporates. It's basically putting water in the atmosphere. Dew points tend to get highest in Iowa in the summer, higher than anywhere else in the United States, more humid than in Florida, because the corn is sweating, so to speak. You've got the evapotranspiration. Isn't that nuts? And so that humidity that's above Iowa can come in on cold fronts. And so that's half the reason why we're going to have a dew point up near 77 perhaps next Monday night, Tuesday, is because some of the corn crop that's growing out there, it's not particularly tall yet, but it's certainly doing its job. There's a lot of evapotranspiration off of that. So that creates humidity in the atmosphere that can cool if the atmosphere is not moving, and then it moves. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Corn sweat. You should look it up. There's some really cool articles on it too. Just look up Iowa corn sweat or Plains corn sweat. Mike, you're welcome. Absolutely. Mark's asking for a pay raise, $35 an hour if you're sweating. I agree, buddy. I agree. I work in air conditioning though, and I don't have any windows. I'm a meteorologist without windows in the studio. Anyway, okay, I got to get going. I got to get back to work. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. As of right now, I think we're going to stick to the same schedule. It gets a little tough when we have severe weather and stuff like that, but I want to stick to a schedule for you guys so you know when to tune in. And we'll continue to post updates as well as we go throughout the week. But active weather coming in this weekend, so expect more posts when it's quiet. Again, we keep your Facebook feed quiet. I think you guys know that. But have a wonderful evening tonight. Enjoy the weekend that's ahead. It's going to be a good one. Ruth, that's awesome. Corn sweat fact. Yeah, it's nuts. I hope it's on Jeopardy tomorrow. Everyone will be happy. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back with you on Sunday night. And again, enjoy the next couple of days. We'll have updates for you this weekend on that rain, okay? All right, see ya.